Good Friday morning, Oswego, and welcome to Top in the Morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Olivia Eugenio. Coming up on Top in the Morning, one man is dead after a car crash in Oswego County Wednesday evening. Also, a 13-year-old was arrested after killing a pit bull with a pellet gun. And later, the tree for Rockefeller Center has officially been picked. Stay tuned, you'll be one of the first to see the Connecticut tree. We'll have an in-depth look at these top stories in just a minute, but first we're going to have a quick check of your weather to get you out the door with meteorologist Rob Camille. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Olivia, and good morning to you, Oswego. Happy Friday morning. Happy November 1st. Hope your Halloween was very well enjoyed. As we look outside right now here at the campus center, we do have a couple showers overhead. It's been kind of the theme as we've gone through Halloween night into early this morning. We do have a shower overhead. Temperature currently sitting at 61 degrees. Very breezy out there as well. Winds out of the south at 16 miles an hour, and we just had a wind gust that almost hit 30 miles an hour. So it's definitely going to be a really windy day as you go out the door heading to work or to class. As we look at your radar right now, we do have some rain moving through the area. This is the leading edge of that cold front with that low pressure system that we have up in the Great Lakes region up here. This rain should be out of here by tonight, but it is definitely going to get cooler as we go into your weekend. I'll touch on that in a little bit. Your top weather headlines for the day. High wind warning still in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. That's for Cayuga, Jefferson, Lewis, Oswego, and Wayne counties. Winds are going to be sustained between 20 and 30 miles an hour with the occasional gust of 50 miles an hour or higher. Can't rule out a possible 60 mile an hour hit either. The rain's still going to stick around at least for the early part of the weekend, but as we get into your Sunday, the sun returns and so does the cold. How cold will it get and how long will the sun stick around? I'll have a full look at your forecast coming up in about 10 minutes, but right now I'll send it back to the desk with Olivia for a check at your top stories.
All right, thank you, Rob. A car crash in Oswego County left one man dead on Wednesday. Police say 33-year-old Matthew Bivens of Fulton died from injuries suffered in a two-car crash on County Route 8 of Granby. Troopers say the crash happened at about 2:45 p.m. when a 2004 Ford Ranger pickup truck attempted to turn north on County Route 8 while Bivens was traveling south. Bivens drove into a northbound lane, striking the Ford Ranger head-on. Bivens was transported to Oswego Hospital by ambulance where he later died from his injuries. The family of the late Syracuse mayor is being paid $14 million by New York State. The former mayor was killed nearly 10 years ago after his car was vaulted onto a highway overpass. Judge Diane Fitzpatrick of the State Court of Claims says the state is responsible to pay damages because they did not properly maintain the roads. According to the judge, Jason Rhodes was also driving too quickly on January 23, 2004, and the family was awarded nearly $4 million in past wrongful death damages and almost $11 million in future wrongful death damages. A boy was arrested yesterday on charges of animal cruelty after shooting a dog with a pellet gun. The 13-year-old was charged with torturing or injuring an animal in the Madison County town of Lenox. The pit bull killed belonged to another Lenox resident and was treated at a facility in Syracuse. The boy's parent has been issued an appearance ticket for Madison County Family Court. Sex offenders were closely watched last night. Over a dozen police officers were monitoring the more than 600 Central New York offenders. The offenders had a very strict list of rules as they were not allowed to open their doors for trick-or-treaters or even dress in costume. According to the Syracuse Senior Patrol Officer, most offenders caught handing out candy are living with family who is participating in the Halloween traditions. Police visited offenders throughout the evening every few minutes. And the vino is still flowing. According to a recent report by Morgan Stanley, the demand for wine was supposed to exceed the supply last year, and that has been proved untrue. The executive vice president of Silicon Valley Bank said that while the production of wine decreased throughout most of 2010 and 2011, 2012 was a record production year. However, the study said the perceived shortage would be because of bad weather and fewer vineyards. But vineyards are excited for the prospect of new business. We're going to take a quick break, but first let's take a look at what happened on this day in history.
I'm lucky. I get to do something I love.
How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork?
I help keep kids in school.
Good.
And that's the name of the game.
My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
We are the Tigers from Pet 885. And you are watching WTOP.
Attention students and faculty. Avery Rental Properties is now renting for the next school year. Avery accommodates all group sizes, small or large. Avery Rental Properties. Make our house your home. 24-hour maintenance, garbage removal, snow removal, and off-street parking. Avery Rental Properties. 315-343-5005.
The 2013 Louis B. O'Donnell Media Summit. Moderated by ESPN sports broadcaster in class of '87 Steve Levy. Coming to Waterman Theater November 6th. Stay connected by visiting mediasummit.org for updates.
My husband! Where's my husband?
Stop.
What's she doing? 2,
She was the passenger. So I was T-boned on the passenger side.
We just had some wine. I wasn't even drunk. I was just buzzed.
What? You were just buzzed? Well, sir, you didn't tell us that. In that case, she's just fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
All right, I am joined by meteorologist Rob Camille. So Rob, it looks like it's going to be a very interesting Halloween weekend. Little on the wetter side maybe, or is it going to be clear?
A little bit to start. Last night, Halloween night, was definitely a very interesting weather night. We had a lot of rain and a lot of wind to speak of. It's going to be more of the same as we go throughout the day today, but the latter part of your weekend is looking a lot better. Now, as we look outside of the campus center right now, for your current conditions, getting you out the door this Friday morning. Currently, the thermometer sits at 61 degrees. We did have a passing shower overhead, but right now it just looks like we have a couple heavy clouds out there. Winds are out of the south at 16 miles an hour, with gusts up to 29, just below 30 miles an hour. They could gust a little bit higher than that as the day goes on. There is definitely a chance for that as we are still under that high wind warning. As we look around the state right now, at your current temperature, 65 in Watertown, 63 down to the south, 41 in Syracuse, 64 in Rochester. Your cold spot right now, Jamestown, New York, checking in at 55 degrees, and your warm spot is the Big Apple, New York City, checking in at the big 70. Now, as we look at your regional radar, this line of showers and heavier rain cells and even some thunderstorms as you go down into northeastern Pennsylvania is starting to move through the area. We are starting to see clearing a little bit, actually, as we kind of have a gap over our area right now, which is giving us those clouds and even a couple peaks of sunshine, but that is not going to last. As we go through the morning, we are going to see a couple more showers. Now, as we look at your setup for today, we do have a cold front that's moving through the area. It's going to be out of here by late afternoon into the early evening, which means all this rain that's been bogging us down from Halloween night throughout the day today is going to be out of here. It's going to be into the Canadian Maritimes, and we're going to just have a couple clouds staying around. Sun and clouds are in the picture for the rest of your weekend. However, those winds are going to stick around for the rest of your day. As a matter of fact, those strong winds are going to be very strong, especially around the Great Lakes region. Gusts as high as 50, even 60 miles an hour. So hold on to your hats, folks. It's definitely going to be a windy day out there on campus today. So for today, chance of showers, definitely windy out there. 60% chance of rain. Your high temperature, 62 degrees for today. Winds are going to be out of the southwest between 20 and 30 miles an hour. Not going to rule out a chance to see a gust higher than that, maybe even as close to, as high as 50 miles an hour. As we go through your day today, to start out your morning, 8 o'clock, highest chance of rain we have today. Your temperature is going to be around 60 degrees. More wind than rain as of right now. As we go through towards your lunchtime hour, the rain starts to decrease, but this is where we're going to see our highest chance for very strong winds. We're looking at gusts 45, even 50 miles an hour around the lunchtime hour. As we go throughout the rest of your day, the temperatures start to go down as that cold front has moved through the area. The winds start to die down a little bit as well, but it's definitely going to feel a lot colder as we go through the rest of your day. For tonight, showers early, ending around 7 o'clock. So if you're going to go out and see the hockey game tonight between Oswego State taking on the Fredonia Blue Devils here at the Campus Center Ice Arena, you might want to bring a jacket with you, at least when you go there. When you go home, you're going to need it for a little bit cooler temperatures instead of the rain. It's going to be mostly cloudy as we go through the rest of the night. 50 degrees for your low. Winds a lot calmer out of the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, your setup for this weekend, very similar to what we saw going into Halloween. The jet stream's going to dip down to the south towards the Carolinas, and this cold air from Canada is going to return. Can't rule out a chance of a couple spotty snow showers in the higher elevations either, but this means that these temperatures are going to be drastically colder than what we've been seeing for the past couple of days, and that is reflected here on your 5-day forecast. For Friday and Saturday, the two warmest days of the week, 62 and 53 degrees respectively, but it's also the wettest days as well. As we get into your Sunday, into your Monday, look at those temperatures go back down into pretty seasonable November temperatures, a little bit cooler than average actually. 40 degrees for your high on Sunday, but it's the best day out of the week as it's the sun starts to return. As we get into Monday, the temperatures start to warm back up, and by Tuesday, we start to see those clouds as our next weather maker moves into the area. That's going to do it for your forecast right now. I'm going to send it back to the desk with Olivia for a look at more of your national news.
All right, thank you, Rob. You know, last year we had all the snow for Halloween. This year we had rain, and of course now we're coming back with the snow. Looking at your national news, a new book sheds new light on the 2012 presidential campaign. President Obama's top aides secretly considered replacing Vice President Joe Biden with Hillary Clinton on the 2012 ticket. The information was released by the New York Times after it got a copy of the book Double Down, Game Change 2012. The newspaper says the book claims the effort was spearheaded by former White House Chief of Staff Bill Daley, but the idea was scrapped when polls showed the switch wouldn't significantly improve President Obama's odds. The book is written by Mark Halperin and Josh Hellman, who also wrote 2008's Game Change. And the New York City Council has approved the latest bill which will raise the smoking age from 18 to 21. Mayor Michael Bloomberg has 30 days to approve the anti-tobacco legislation, which, given his overwhelming support for the Tobacco 21 legislation, is speculated to happen soon. The bill would not take effect until 180 days after it is signed. This is yet another step for Mayor Bloomberg's healthy lifestyle campaign. And when it comes to health insurance, even the most exposed workers want coverage. Affordable health care has never been an option for sex workers until now, thanks to Obamacare. Under the Affordable Care Act, they'll be paying about $3,500 a year, which translates to about $300 a month. However, individuals may end up paying more if their old plans don't meet the coverage standards of the Affordable Care Act. And this week at SUNY Oswego, Humans vs. Zombies is in full swing. WTOP 10's Ian Dembling has the story.
They could be anywhere. Hiding in bushes, lurking in the shadows. High and low, near and far, you won't be able to escape this week at SUNY Oswego because the zombies are out for blood. The annual event Humans vs. Zombies, run by the Storytellers Guild, is traditionally played during the final week of October, coinciding with the other Halloween-themed festivities throughout Oswego County. The entry fee is $2, and all money benefits Child's Play, a non-for-profit organization that donates video games to children in hospitals. Event head Don Tyson says HVZ usually raises a lot of money for the charity.
Last year and the year before, combined, it was about $700. This year, we're still calculating.
Child's Play began in 2003 and now donates to over 70 hospitals in North America, Europe, Asia, and even Australia. Video game enthusiast Kat Vaughn, whose brother spent last summer in the hospital, is excited to give back and support the cause while also having fun.
It feels really good because I just want to try and bring a smile to the face of some kid who really needs it.
Humans vs. Zombies table will be up in the campus center for the rest of the week for anyone who wishes to continue to donate to Child's Play. Now, I gotta get to class, but hopefully I don't see any more zombies! Ah! For WTOP 10 News, Ian Dembling reporting.
Oh no, I feel so bad for Ian. I hope he's okay.
I think he's okay. I think he'll be fine. But you know, I think my favorite place to actually watch the Humans vs. Zombies action is going into Cooper Dining Hall and sitting in those windows and just looking out and seeing people just being chased across the quad.
Right,
that
because
is my
they're all
favorite
over the
thing to
place.
do.
I actually saw, as I was coming in for last night's Thursday night's news for our Halloween special, I walked in the campus center and I just saw this group of like 5 or 6 zombies just standing around the door, just waiting for this one guy who was wearing one of the human bandanas. I think they were trying to get him, but he wasn't having any of that.
Yeah, maybe next year I'll just have to make a bucket of popcorn and just sit outside and just watch for hours. I think I'd be entertained.
That might be entertaining. I wouldn't rule that out.
Well, thank you, Rob. Coming up after the break, Matt Stone will give us your latest entertainment news and we'll take another look at your forecast. Stay with us. You're watching WTOP 10 Top in the Morning.
The forest is precious. One careless act caused by people and its beauty could be gone for a lifetime. Protect our friends in the forest.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The 2013 Louis B. O'Donnell Media Summit. Moderated by ESPN sports broadcaster and class of '87 Steve Levy. Coming to Waterman Theater November 6th. Stay connected by visiting mediasummit.org for updates.
Every night before the show, me and the guys, we like to loosen up a little bit.
Blue, 42, hike!
Every now and then, Dan likes to take it a little too far. But hey, the show's all about competition, so we'll take it.
Stupid Dan with stupid football and stupid running.
Hi, I'm CNN's Rob Marciano, and you're watching WTOP 10, your television station.
Attention students and faculty. Avery Rental Properties is now renting for the next school year. Avery accommodates all group sizes, small or large. Avery Rental Properties. Make our house your home. 24-hour maintenance, garbage removal, snow removal, and off-street parking. Avery Rental Properties. 315-343-5005.
I'm lucky. I get to do something I love.
How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork?
I help keep kids in school.
Good.
And that's the name of the game.
My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
All right, so I am joined once again by meteorologist Rob Camille. So, Rob, everyone has to be safe this weekend because it's going to be with the weather and everything going on. I think here from WTOP, we definitely want everyone to be safe and just be really careful.
Absolutely.
So how do you think the weather is going to impact everybody's safety? Do you think everyone should be fairly okay, or do you?
I feel like as we go into the weekend, yeah, everybody should be okay. It's more of last night that we were kind of worried about because of the rain and of the wind. But as we get further and further into the weekend, it should become a lot calmer and a lot clearer as well. And the rain chance should definitely be out of the picture by at least tomorrow afternoon. But as far as today goes, your top weather headlines are the wind on campus, as it always is here at Oswego. High wind warning is in effect until 7 o'clock p.m. tonight, and that's in effect for Cayuga, Jefferson, Lewis, Oswego, and Wayne counties here in central New York. Now, the reason we have a high wind warning is because the winds are supposed to be sustained between 20 and 30 miles an hour, with the occasional gust up to around 50 miles an hour and even higher than that. The rain is still going to stick around, and the sun does return by the end of the weekend. The rain's going to be here for at least a couple of days throughout today and a little bit into tomorrow. The sun does return as we go to the later part of your weekend, but unfortunately so does the cold, as we have a cold front moving through this afternoon into tonight. Now, your current conditions, we actually just had a rain shower move through, but believe it or not, the sun has actually made an appearance here on campus this Friday morning. So definitely take in that sunshine if you're going out to those early classes. 61 degrees is where the mercury sits right now. Winds are out of the south at 16 miles an hour, occasionally gusting as high as 25, even 30 miles an hour. So definitely hold on to your hats if you're going to be outside today. Your regional radar, as you can see, this line of showers and heavier rain cells moving through the central New York area because of that cold front. We do have some clearing right on top of Oswego into Mexico and down towards Fairhaven. So really that immediate area along the lake shore is where we're seeing this break in the action right now. But a little bit later on, we are going to have some more showers and some more heavier rain move through the area. Now, looking through today, showers is really going to be the story of your forecast today. It's also going to be very windy, as we talked about. High temperature today is going to be 62 degrees. Winds are going to be out of the southwest between 20 and 30 miles an hour, gusting as high as 50 miles an hour at some times. As we look at your 5-day forecast, the rain and the wind seem to be only in the picture, at least for the first part of your weekend. Today we're going to have a high of 62 degrees, Saturday a high of 53, but as you can see by the low temperature, they start to dive down into much cooler temperatures as we go through the latter part of your weekend. Sunday, the sun returns. Sunday, sun, get it. I'm sorry, I'll stop. 40 degrees for your high. on Sunday. But as we go through Monday and Tuesday, the temperatures start to warm up, and by Tuesday, the clouds start to make an appearance once again. So not the greatest start to your weekend, but definitely can't complain about Sunday into Monday. And also, don't forget, folks, Sunday ends daylight savings time, so make sure before you go to bed Saturday night, make sure you turn those clocks back an hour. That's going to do it for me for right now. I'll have one final look at your forecast coming up in a little bit, but now I'll send it back to the desk with Olivia Eugenio.
All right, thank you, Rob. I know I will definitely appreciate that extra hour of sleep. A flash mob of mini zombies descended on a street in the nation's capital. These kids are from Savoy Elementary School in Washington. They all dressed up like ghouls from Michael Jackson's Thriller video and started a performance in front of DC's old post office pavilion. It is part of the school's arts and music program and a program that the White House has endorsed to help turn around poor performing and at-risk schools. And now we're going to have a full look at your entertainment news with Matt Stone.
Thanks, Olivia. And fans of How I Met Your Mother have been dreading the end of the show's current 9th and final season, but all might not be lost as the spin-off series would feature a new group of friends and chronicle a woman's attempts to find her future husband, according to a Deadline article published on Wednesday. Fans of the show will be saddened to learn that the premise of the show will not be tied to any of the current characters, so no Ted Mosby on How I Met Your Mother. And obviously, as Olivia mentioned before, the White House was lit up on Wednesday in preparation for the Halloween celebration, during which the Obamas did welcome trick-or-treating children of military families. The President and First Lady took out some time from their busy schedules to hand out candy and such to many military children. And although that President Obama didn't dress up, he was certainly in a festive mood. Now, moving over to some sports headlines, Thursday night marks something special, something more real for Chicago Bulls point guard Derrick Rose. The guard returned home to Chicago for their home opener against the New York Knicks and certainly provided some heroics that a certain number 23 would have loved. He raced high over Tyson Chandler and Raymond Feldt to drop home the difficult right-handed floater just under 6 seconds remaining for an 82-81 victory. Carmelo Anthony's game-winning three-point shot did not fall over Luol Deng and rimming out at the buzzer. The Bulls tying a franchise record with their 6th straight home opening victory. And there was some NFL going on last night. Bengals and the Dolphins from Sun Life Stadium. The Bengals suffered 2 huge losses last night. Their 4-game winning streak was snapped midway through overtime when Cameron Wake sacked Andy Dalton in the end zone. Yes, a safety in overtime, only the 3rd time in NFL history. Miami prevailing 22-20, and with just 24 seconds remaining on a Mike Nugent 54-yard field goal, sent it to overtime. But the Dolphins in overtime, obviously, you see the Wake safety there. Caleb Sturgis also hitting a 44-yard field goal. The other loss for Cincinnati kills them as Geno Atkins appears lost for the season after an ACL injury to his right knee during the 2nd quarter. That's all for me. Now back over to Olivia.
All right, well, thank you, Matt. I know you've definitely been excited for all the sports news going on. It's been a big week in sports with the World Series and
obviously, locally, we got Oswego and Fredonia tonight, the first home game for the Oswego State Lakers. Getting right into hockey season. We had the Lakers showcase last week, and they'll play Buff State on Saturday. So busy sports week for the sports department here at WTOP.
And so what broadcasts are you guys having? What times do you?
6:30 tonight. We'll be ready to go for the pregame show, and we'll go all the way up to 9:30, 6:30. Will be your pregame show for Fredonia, and same thing for Saturday. So 6:30 to 10, you get all hockey here at WTOP.
You guys are definitely going to be busy this
We're ready
weekend.
to go.
We're going to take one last break, but when we come back, we'll have a final look at your forecast. But first, take a look at what celebs are celebrating their birthdays today. Stay with us. You're watching WTOP 10, Top in the Morning.
Get your Smokey on. If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference. Because 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Down 70 to 35, and the Cougars were getting smoked like a cheap cigar.
So what sets the rundown apart from other newscasts is that it brings students together to voice their opinions on the world's most important political issues.
There seems to be just more events going on in 2012 than there were in previous years combined.
This nation is based on the foundation that we choose the government.
Do we use 1, 2, and 3? We work hard to bring you the most up-to-date, relevant coverage of the stories you should be following. The country has now gone over the fiscal cliff.
Is gun control necessary? How much is too much?
Does it surprise you that it's taken this long to have a serious talk about gun control? Students need to realize that this is the time when what's going on in Capitol Hill and around the world starts to affect them.
And really, the fate of the entire country is at hand here.
This is it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go camera 2.
Good evening and welcome to The Rundown. I'm Megan Roberts.
Attention students and faculty. Avery Rental Properties is now renting for the next school year. Avery accommodates all group sizes, small or large. Avery Rental Properties. Make our house your home. 24-hour maintenance, garbage removal, snow removal, and off-street parking. Avery Rental Properties. 315-343-5005.
Now that Halloween is officially over, you know what that means. It's Christmas season. So today we thought at Top in the Morning, we'd give you your holiday headlines. This sky-high spruce in Connecticut has been picked up to light up Rockefeller Center in New York City this holiday season. The 80-foot Norway spruce was grown in Shelton, Connecticut. This isn't the first time a tree from the city has been chosen. According to the New Haven Register, the owners of the tree have chosen to remain anonymous. The spruce is slated to be cut down next week and transported to its new holiday home. Until then, police are guarding the property 24 hours a day. Santa apparently is better at navigating chimneys than one boy who got stuck in his chimney. The 15-year-old came home to discover he was locked out of his house, and so he didn't want to wait for his mom, so to get into his house, he decided to enter Santa style. He climbed up on the roof and couldn't quite reach his destination through the alternative entrance. But police were able to free the teen in about 5 minutes, so he did not have any significant injuries. The mom says that she had a long talk with him once he was loose, telling him this was the stupidest thing he's ever done in his entire life. And now we're going to have a final look at your weather with meteorologist Rob Camille. Rob.
Well, thank you very much, Olivia. Taking a look at your forecast for the day today. For the most part of the day, we're going to be looking at some clouds and some showers around. Definitely going to be windy, as well as we still have that high wind warning in effect. Your high temperature today is going to be 62 degrees. Be careful of those winds, folks. Winds out of the southwest between 20 and 30 miles an hour, gusting as high as 50 miles an hour. Now, the rain story should end by Saturday afternoon. Friday and Saturday, the early start to your weekend, is going to be not the greatest as far as weather goes. A lot of rain, winds are going to die down as far as we go to tonight. But as the second half of your weekend comes into play, Sunday the temperature is going to cool down, but the sun's going to come back to campus once again, and it'll be the same for Monday as well as Tuesday. So the later part of your week this week, you're not looking so hot, but as we get into next week, it's starting to look better. And as a reminder, folks, Sunday ends daylight savings time, so make sure Saturday night, before you go to bed, turn those clocks back an hour.
Well, speaking about going into next week, Wednesday, I know we're all excited, is the Media Summit for the comm department. So I know you're definitely excited because this year is actually the sports theme. So are you excited to see Steve Levy? Who are you most excited to see?
Yeah, for me, I'm excited to see Steve Levy. He's going to be great. Hasn't been to Oswego in a while, so nice to have him back. And a lot of interesting panelists, so it's definitely going to be a good discussion next Wednesday in Waterman Theater.
I'm definitely excited for the Career Connectors because they seem to be all on-air talent, which for me is definitely beneficial because that's what I want to do. And so to kind of have not only people who are on air, but people who have also graduated recently is really going to be beneficial to kind of ask them questions, ask how they started. So I'm definitely excited.
It's more, I feel like it's talking to people who, it's basically talking to your future self if that's what you really want to do. So if you're going to be talking to people who are in your field and you want to go into it, I feel like it's, no-brainer. Real good tips there.
So will you still be attending? Are you excited to see it, or?
I will be attending. I will do my best, considering I do have class right up until the start of the Media Summit. But I know for a fact that the panelists are going to be, I'm sorry, not the panelists, the Career Connectors are going to be coming into class on Wednesday as well.
Yes.
So I was already told in one of my classes they are going to be there. So I'm very excited to see who's going to be there. As far, I'm not sure if any of you know who the Career Connectors are going to be. I don't offhand. Just because I'm not familiar with the whole planning process.
We have a few really good Career Connectors coming this year. We actually have Louis Carpel coming, and he's very recent to SUNY Oswego. He graduated in 2012, and he was actually the former GM of WTOP, so it's going to be really nice to see him again.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, and that will do it for us here for the entire 10 News team. I'm Olivia Eugenio.
And I'm Rob Camille. Thanks for watching Oswego. Have a great Friday.